Hey BFC, I hope you're all having a good week. This week it's my turn to do a devotional on our theme stay. And what I love to do and what makes me fall more in love with Jesus is when I'm creative. I've always been creative. I grew up in a very creative home, and yet it was only a few years ago that I realised how much more it was to me than just a hobby. I really love art and trying new crafts, and providing the art isn't for university deadline, I find it very therapeutic. But as I say, a few years ago I was just painting, listening to worship music and just singing along, and in my creative time, and it just became something new. I could so strongly feel God's presence just worshipping through my artwork, allowing the talent He's given me to just flow through me. And it didn't matter if what I produced wasn't aesthetically pleasing to anyone or even myself. It's that in that moment I strongly felt the love of God and a connection that reminds me that He is real and He is alive, and that at that moment He was with me. And doing this just refreshed me. It just gave me a peace that I can't even describe. And I try to do this regularly. Sometimes I don't feel like being creative, but I know that even if I'm having the worst day ever, I can come into this space with my sketchbook, and maybe I don't even have any words to say to Him, but I can feel His presence, and I'm immediately calmer and gain a new perspective. So firstly, I just encourage you today to get creative, to sketch, doodle, colour in during your prayer time or listening to worship music. And if you're like, nah, I'm not creative, that's not for me, although I still encourage you to try creativity at least once, I just encourage you to think of the things that you love doing and that just make your heart explode with excitement, and do them for God. Just use the gifts God's given you and embrace them to worship Him. Just combine the love of a hobby or a passion with time with God. In 1 Corinthians 10:31 it says, whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. So I just encourage you this week to just find that. And if you're feeling brave, try creativity too.